Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm a bit tipsy. Just came back from a wonderful gathering to which celebrated my coming out of hospital. And it was organized by Mario, and I was really happy. Obviously, it was celebrating me. I was so happy and was so grateful that everyone came in, and we had a great time. I had a lot of alcohol to drink. Hopefully, I don't get a hangover tomorrow, but let's wait and see. Maybe I can make video of hangovers. But anyhow, I wanted to make a video about stress and worry. It's a bit of a stressful topic, a serious topic, but it doesn't have to be. I wanted to make this video because for the past 6 weeks, with the situation that I was in, with the process that I have to go through in order to heal and recover, there were a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of concern, a lot of frustration that came along with all of the sudden paralysis, from well, maybe a little bit lower, belly down. And there's so many things that I wasn't able to do. There's so many things that are unknown to me. There are such a huge change of lifestyle. There are so many different changes, and things are just moving in the total wrong direction than I would ever anticipated. And with that came along with so much incredible stress and worries. But throughout this journey of worry and stress, I also realized a bit of pattern, at least for myself, and I would like to share that with you guys because I think it's quite helpful, and I think it's applicable to all the stress and worries. So what it is that I don't know which is the better way. Like, I could make an example. I can make several examples. So I will start with my examples. So one of the major things, I will list several things that I'm stressed out about, and then I will tell you how they sort of like unwind or resolve themselves over time, and then I will tell you how what's the way I look at it. So one of the most major one is that I cannot walk again. And in my previous videos, I also mentioned a lot about that, about the unknown potential of unable to walk again, or like being stuck in bed or in chair for the rest of my life. Well, first of all, I much better than before, and then I was able to stand, basically unsupported, well, with my hands holding the kitchen counter. I'm able to stand on my own with both legs now. So the potential for me, the trajectory for me, is to be able to walk. But not everyone is like this, of course. My spinal cord is not completely cut, broken, or like severed. It's been a little bit damaged, but it's been repairing itself. So I'm quite lucky in that manner. But there are people who are, the possibility of walking from a scientific point of view is non-existent, and fortunately that is not my experience, and fortunately this one has really, I really dodged that bullet, and I'm able to walk. And my previous fear of not being able to walk is sort of like just decimated, or diminished over time. It still lingers on, and then I would be able to tell myself, oh, you know what, look at the gains, look at the abilities that you have gathered, you have cultivated for the past 6 weeks, that you are able to do this, you are able to do that, you are able to get in bed, get out of bed, get into the sofa, out of sofa, into the commode chair, into shower chair, all those kind of different things. And you are able to do so much now. And the idea of not being able to walk is so abstract because it hasn't happened yet, that based on your current accomplishment, you have a great potential to make some big changes to your future so that you may be able to walk again soon. And medically, statistically, it also, I'm on the, I have an 80% chance to walk again. So the numbers are with me, and the odds are not against me. I do acknowledge that, but this is one of the major concerns that I have. And then I keep trying to use my past record to make me feel better, to make me feel calm, to make me feel relaxed, so that I would be able to focus on the current tasks at hand, whatever they are, whether if it's physio or if it's making a bowel movement. I don't know, anything and everything. So that's sort of like what I try to do in general. Another example I would like to share is coming home. Coming after living in hospital for 6 weeks, after getting used to people helping you pee, wiping your butt, giving you a bath every day, helping you to go shower, bring your food and everything else, that going home and doing everything on your own seems like not only foreign but scary endeavor, because let's be honest, I'm still in wheelchair and there's so much that I cannot do. And the therapist would only tell me, oh, you need help with this, you need help with that, blah, 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 blah. And then by the end, it's just like, oh my God, I need help for everything. What am I gonna do? And stress and worry is only a natural process of things. And one of the major concern that I have is because initially I wasn't able to pee after my injury, and I have to be straight cathed, which means that I have to put a tube in my penis. And then after 3-4 weeks, I started having a urinary tract infection. So I wasn't able to do that, and I forced myself to pee. Over time, I started having the ability to pee naturally, but uncontrolled. So it's like a broken garden sprinkler. It just keeps going. Nowadays, it's better control, but still, it's not like the control I had before the accident, obviously. And one of my major concern is not being able to help myself, or to not being able to change my bed sheet after I wet myself at night. And normally, in the hospital, you just have a call button, and a nurse or PCA will come in and help you change and then make everything clean again, and you can go to bed. But at home, especially the apartment I'm living in right now, I can't really rely on my sister. My family is in Vancouver, and I am on my own, like literally on my fucking own. So it's super scary, and it's very concerning, and it's something that keeps haunting me all the time. I kept thinking that I should get a home care person to stay with me at least for the first week, and blah blah blah. I was in the process of arranging it, and somehow it just didn't happen. I have found a really good agency. They have really good price, very good service, and blah blah blah. They just don't have anybody for me. So, what can you do? Everything on my own. That's what I can do. So to begin with, I even when I was very stressed out about everything, I made sure that I put enough attention, enough work in making a list of the supplies and equipments that I needed, and making sure that I bought everything. Everything was here before I came back home, and I still missed one piece. I still missed the shower bench but I had a commode chair which had an extension, so I just put the commode chair into the shower instead of by my bedside, and it works out because it did. Sometimes things actually work out, believe it or not. So yes, the first night when I came back home, Mario stayed on the sofa, but he doesn't like, you know, any bed that is not his own, which I understand. But even during the first night, I wetted myself like twice. I wet my bed twice, and I had this like oversized chuck, big ass chuck, which means like it's a waterproof like linen, uh, sure, waterproof like bed sheet kind of thing, and then you can put on, and then I was able to change the chuck, and so that I don't have to change bed sheet, and that way I'm able to manage everything on my own. I don't need any extra help from anybody. I could basically just change the chuck, toss it on the side, get a new one, and then go back to bed. So the next day I wash the dirty ones, and then I'm like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this on my own, at least for this part. At least, you know, peeing myself and, you know, changing myself. I change myself. I'm still wearing diapers now. I can change my own diapers. I could change my own chuck. I could wipe myself. I could get into the shower on my own. And you know, those are the things that I was able to do. I know that I was able to do those things before I came home, but there are certain things that I don't know if I could. And I try my best to get the supplies, the equipment that I needed for a good transition, for a good independent life. And then I just try my best to do those things and see what happens. So looking back, oh, also, so for this experience that I had, I realized that there are certain things you just don't know until it happens. A lot of the times we keep trying to want to know what would happen, how it would happen, and but we just don't know until we get there. The reality is that if we're so good at predicting our futures, we will not be in this position to begin with, right? If I'm so good at guessing what my future is going to be like, oh, you know what, I'm not going to be able to change my bed sheet, I'm going to wet myself for the rest of my life, I'm not going to be able to stand up from this wheelchair. If I knew all those things, but you know, then I wouldn't be here. I would have avoided my accident. I would have stopped working on things, and then I would never be able to stand up, and I would never be able to change my bed sheet because I already knew that I can't do it. But if we just try, if we have enough support, we have enough supply, we have enough equipment, and enough knowledge and experience, and we just try and see how far we could go, then things may change. At least it may change over time, because nothing, you know, happens all at once. And obviously for my walking or like any of my situations, nothing happened all at once. But if you just keep trying and keep pushing without any idea of what's that word, conclusion, if we keep concluding things are not going to work, or things are going to work in the way that we don't want to, then nothing's going to work. We have to try something. We have to put something into action. And then those actions may not happen until we get to that moment, get to that place, get to that situation. So it's a time-related situation, and then we're just gonna have to wait and have to be patient. And during that process, we're just gonna have to try our best not to fuck ourselves up. And being worried, frustrated, and being stressed out about it are all things that are fucking ourselves up. So we really have to stop from doing that. Um, and also another situation I wanted to share, which is a really important one. I've shared this before. Right after my injury, right after my surgery, on 15th of September, after 2 weeks of after 1 week of recovery, the hospital was looking at facilities for me to go to in order for my next, healing and rehab process to start. But because I did not have health insurance, proper health insurance, comprehensive health insurance in New York. A lot of the facilities and the places rejected me, and even if I want to do self-pay from paying from my own pocket, they still don't want to do that. And during the process, it was so painful and tormenting because I was so set on trying to heal, trying to recover, trying to get better, that learning that no facilities are able to take me made me really worried, because I can't stay in the hospital forever, and then they are looking into kicking me out, and then they don't have a good rehab facility, and I'm just sort of like hanging in the limbo and rotting in bed waiting for nothing to happen. And it was huge amount of stress and despair in my part, and I just felt like I was quite actually distraught and broken by it, and I was crying, and the physiotherapist saw me crying and stuff like it wasn't easy time to go through. But fasting forward, 1 week after that, I was in this facility that is so far from the city. It's called Glen Cove Hospital, and then it's so far from the city, and a lot of my family members are not able to visit me, and I thought I was just gonna be there rotting again, like I was in the hospital. But little did I know, once I got to the Glen Cove Hospital, it was so charming, so relaxing, almost reminds me of Vancouver, with so much greenery. People are nicer, much more down to earth. It's very relaxed, very calm. The whole vibe just sort of like familiar to me. And I know that better facilities with better equipment would have, could do this and that. But honestly, for me at the time, going to somewhere that is more chilled, more relaxed, more calm is so much more important, and accommodating. So somehow, um, life have picked out a place that is suitable for me, more suitable for me than I ever would have known, and I would never chose any place like that, but somehow life has chosen it for me, and it's taken me by surprise, because it's more suitable for me than any other facilities than I could ever imagined. So it makes me realize that sometimes you're just gonna have to wait until life to unfold, whatever it is. Um, I know in this case it's a really good thing that I being unfolded, but when it's bad thing, like the journey or the injury that I'm going through now, excuse me, it's definitely been perceived as a terrible thing, but it's also how you make it too, Um, yes, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's painful, and it's distressing, but we as human beings are able to choose, are able to are define things in our own terms, and we don't have to go with our compulsions all the time. And that's what set us apart from the rest of the creation. So we need to use that and implement that ability to make our life better too, because that's what being human is all about. So I basically burped out like several different examples. Each of them is a little bit different. But overall, I just wanted to say that stress and worries are just a combination of memory and imagination together to create a situation that you do not want to have. And but it's very important to maybe even record what you are being stressed out about, and take it and keep that recording over time, and then look back to the record and see if the reality, if the your life has really unfolded the way that you're worried and stressed out about. And most of the time it's not. It's never is, because if we're so good at guessing our life, then we won't be here. So, and just to be able to recognize that the stress and the worries that you have are just like a movie, a movie situation or a segment of a movie, or like a YouTube and you just watch and then you're like, oh, okay, it's done. Okay, bye. It's not real. It's not real. We keep thinking that our stress and our worries are all real, but they're not real. So keeping a record of your things that stress you out, things that you worry about, and then see if they actually come true, and then realize that those worries and stress, they're not real. And that alone is very powerful and very essential in having a more stable, balanced life. And if we wanted to make it further, we could look into okay, so they're not real, all right, and then what can we do? What are the things that stress you out? Basically are situations that you do not prefer to happen. Things are happening in, you imagine things are happening in the way that you want it to, and that make you unhappy, and that make you stressed out, that make you blah 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 blah. So if those things are making you having those kind of negative emotions, then what can you do about it? What kind of actions can you translate from those kind of negative emotions? Try to put that into an action and make it into a plan, and try to prevent that, and try to focus your energy and your attention onto those things that you can able to do and you can able to control. And also recognize that if it's out of your control, if you've done everything that you could do to prevent something from happening, and if it still happened, at least you did your best. You did everything that you could do to prevent it. But if it's meant to happen, then you have to learn from that. So that's a different kind of learning, different kind of process altogether. But still, there's always something that you could do. There's always some sort of tool or sort of a equipment you could use in your life, or it may be a talking to a friend, reaching out for help, or talking to a social worker, psychologist, or whatever. There's always something that you could do with your life situations. So putting those emotions into action will definitely make things much better, much easier. And like me wetting my bed, just being able to prepare for the situations and made me realize that I can actually do this on my own. So it's very important. What's next? Yes. And then sometimes I know we all wanted to try to jump to the result, because we are in such a result oriented society. We want everything coming in as fast as possible, the way that we want everything, the way we want it, how we want it, the time that we wanted it. But life doesn't really happen the way that we want it to, right? Otherwise, there will be no stress. If life always happens the way we want it to, then well, I will not be paralyzed. That's for sure. But it doesn't. It never does. And it's not about making life happen the way you want it to. Sometimes you just have to wait and see. Being patient, being humble, and not try to draw any conclusions about life is very important. Right now, when I have some sort of worry or stress, I just tell myself, let's see. What I'll tell myself, let's see what I can do, what I can help with the situation. If I've done everything that I could do to prevent it and to prepare it, then I've done my best. I've done all that I can do. Then, okay, let's just sit back and enjoy the moment we're living in right now. And then wait until wait and see how things play out, because you don't know what's going to happen until you get there. If we already know what things are going to be like when we get there, then what's the point of traveling? Because we wanted to explore something different, we want to experience something different, we go to travel. And if we already knew what that experience is, like how we worry and stress out about things, then what's the point of traveling, right? There isn't a point. So what I'm trying to say is that let the plane take off and let it land and do its thing, and try to experience your journey and your travel the way that it should, instead of making conclusions and making predictions beforehand. Let's say, before you go to this journey, go to this travel with your family or your friends, you started thinking that, oh, you know what, he's gonna be like that, another person gonna be like that, we're gonna run off of this or run off of that. You're ruining it. Everything, every moment. Like, you can't do this. And that's the same thing about life. You can be prepared. You can be, ready for things, but you should not jump into conclusions, especially negative ones, before the experience starts. So yeah, that's it. It's a bit long. I'm sorry. I hope you have not lost your patience. So yeah, I think I've had quite a lot of experience in stress and worries, and just wanted to share my experience about them. All right, that's it. Now I'm gonna go sober up. Bye.